You are listening to a Mojoko production.
What's up, homeboys? Homegirls. That was slightly Spanish. I apologize for that. Anyway, we talk about a lot of stuff. Mostly this patronizer episode we did where we fought. So I apologize if you don't have patronizing. Patreon. I say I got Me Too'd the hell out of in that band about Leonore. Actually, Leonore should be saying that. Grandma's Pickle and Boot Shop, we call it by accident. We revisit our argument. Basically, at one point I say I'm an insensitive dick face. We have an update on defeating Satanism, and we talk about satanic televangelists, which is the wave of the future. The Pickle and Boot Shop, we hope you hate it!
Joey Reese and Pickle and Boot Shop. Get yourself a pickle. Get yourself a boot. Joey Reese and Pickle and Boot Shop. Pickle time is happening. Pickle time. I go down to get some pickles.
With your grandma and your kids.
I go downtown.
With your grandma and your kids.
Boot time. Pickle and boot time. Don't be fickle. Get your pickle cider, pop a nickel in your boots. Not a place of ill repute. Bring your grandma and your kids. Come for the pickles, stay for the squids.
Pickle and Boot Shop.
Stay for the squids. Boots.
Pickle time.
Put that pickle in your pants. Get some booze inside your hands. Put that pickle in your pants. Get some booze inside your hands.
1996, we start this.
We're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it and doing it and doing it. Wow.
Doing it.
Doing it. and
Doing it.
Doing it. Wow.
Doing it, yeah, yeah. Doing it for my baby. This is my favorite thing to do in Five Iron was we'd play that song and then I'd hump everything on the bus,
Oh, that's a good time.
right? And
I'm sure Leonore enjoyed that.
she would go, Reese, okay, Reese.
She was the second one to ever hashtag me too.
She's like, I got Me Too'd the hell out of me.
As soon as she heard hashtag me too, she was like, yep, I'm in on that.
That is me.
I'm in on that.
That happened to me every day in Five Iron Frenzy. I got Me Too'd.
Frenzy. 5 Iron Frenzy. Let's see.
We got to clap. Right?
Gotta get the clap.
Ready to get the clap, motherfuckers.
Yep, let's go.
3, 2, 1. Grandma's.
Bingo, bango, baby.
Welcome back to Grandma's Pickle and Boot Shop.
Today we're taking all the greatest stories of grandmas from grandma's pasts. Mm-hmm. I don't even know what we're talking about.
Tell it, sweet Joe.
So, the last episode that came out was our big fight one, and I thought we wouldn't get into that until the paid portion.
Oh, geez, we're going to get into it again.
No. Just as far as cleaning up and what's happened since. I mean, I guess we could get into it here. But I'm sure you had people DMing you or messaging you. People were messaging me. People wanted to know if we were like, if that was real, if that was a real fight.
Yeah.
All of that stuff. And then they wanted to know if we were still friends, if this thing was still going on. No, we're not at all. We just do this for the $250,000 check we get each month.
Wait. My check wasn't that big, Joe.
I mean the $300 check we get each month.
I got $113. What the?
So, yeah. So after our big political fight, we're still friends. We were still friends that night. You know, you said that I was what was it? Naive? What was it? Ignorant?
I said you are a white trash dumbass honky.
Right. But you had said something about it, you used some word and then
Let's not
ignorant.
talk about it anymore.
Well, no, because here's the deal. Here's how I work. All
We're
right.
doing this again, Joe.
No, we're not. No, we're not. No, we're not. And,
we have
and so, but-
topics to talk about right now. Number one, intro
I know.
/ catch-up.
I know, but here,
Waitress
so we're
not
catching
writing
up.
down food. Okay.
So we're catching up.
All
But
right.
here's the deal. This is what I like to do. So whether it's my girlfriend and I getting in an argument, or my kids and I, or my mom or my sister, anybody, whenever I get in an argument, I don't cast you off. I think about what was said. And so I think from our argument, the kind of the first reaction of like being blindsided and being called ignorant
Yeah.
was like, it hurt up front. But I think after I thought about it, I was like, you're absolutely right.
Okay,
Like,
but
I
that-
don't.
Can we clarify?
What?
I didn't say you were ignorant. I said all my friends who vote Republican are either rich or willfully ignorant. Not that they are ignorant, but that willfully.
Okay. Well, it's out there, so people could go back and listen. Wonder if that's what I was called or not. But so here's the deal. So I thought about it, and I was like, yeah, I am. Like, it hurt to hear that, but yeah, I am. And I think the reason is because I don't, like, I have tried in the last week since our argument, or 2 weeks ago. It's been 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I've tried to like read about issues and try to read about things and stuff like that. And I go back to the thing where I get involved as much as I want to, and then it's
Yeah.
like listening to math being talked about.
I get that, man.
So it's just like I don't want to get into it. I don't want to like get into like these crazy deep political issues and all that stuff. So I'm like, yeah, maybe I am ignorant, and maybe I am okay with that. And just kind of back to that stuff. So anybody who, like I said, I'm sure you got messaged and stuff like that. So anybody, if you messaged Reese or you messaged me, we're still friends. I still thought it through. There was truth to, some of the stuff that he said, and here we are. And we're back for another podcast
I
talking
wanna
about
add to that
goofy
that
stuff.
I'm an insensitive dick face.
Well, we knew that after last episode.
I feel that me saying that was like insensitive. I just said it again because I was like trying to clarify what I said, but like still insensitive. And like what I wasn't picking up on is just like how much that hurt your feelings. And I'm sorry.
Well, I appreciate it. You apologized last week, so it was forgive and forget. As soon as the computers and the phone clicked off, I didn't really like how like sometimes you get in like arguments with people at like a fast food restaurant or somebody in front of you in line or something, and then you're just stewing, or like road rage, and then you're stewing for the whole rest of the time. You're like, I should have said this, I should have done that, or I shouldn't have said this, I shouldn't have done that. Like, I didn't have any of that. Like, I shut my phone off last week, and I don't think I told one person. Like, I don't think I like vented to one person like, oh, you wouldn't believe what Reese said. It was something that we just talked about. We're both passionate about, what side of the fence we're on or whatever. And then as the weeks went on, like, I thought about it, and I was like, well, he's not wrong. I mean, I can't sit down and have a conversation with somebody about global warming. I can regurgitate stuff that I've heard, but I can't quote you stuff because I can't quote the scientists that, like, I don't know it like I do hockey.
Yeah.
And things like that. And so then when you get into all these different issues and immigration and all these like different rights and stuff that people are going for, or that, or gun rights and gun control and all that, it gets so cloudy. I mean, like, I know how I feel. Like, I know how I feel about the topics.
Yeah.
And so then when you dig into them, when you're like, okay, I know how I feel, so I'm going to dig in and see what, like, both parties are so great at, like, being so vague and skewing stats and doing all that stuff. That's kind of why I sent you a couple of like podcasts. And the podcasts that I sent you kind of dealt with media and how journalism has like fallen by the wayside. And there's like this young, hungry crop of people that are being like independent journalists that like there's like no money. There's no money involved in it. Because as soon as they get a paying gig at some, at some media outlet, they are now subject to that media outlet's bias. And so there are these like, I almost want to say like punk rock, like these punk rock journalists that are going out and just tearing apart the Republican Party, tearing apart the Democratic Party, tearing apart conservatives, tearing apart liberals, because they're just going out looking for the truth. And then also in some of those podcasts, I thought it was crazy how like you just follow like the paper trail and the money trail as to like how things are investigated, or pharmaceuticals and like all these different things. And it's not conspiracy theory stuff.
Okay.
So those of you that are listening, like I'm not talking about that. It's like educated people speaking on topics obviously that they know about, or biochemists and stuff like that. So I just thought those were interesting.
So I listened to like you sent me 2 things from the Joe Rogan Experience.
Yeah.
I got like halfway through and I was just like, it's interesting, but I didn't understand why. The one is about like Bitcoin, or like not Bitcoin, but cryptocurrency. And this guy is like a reporter on cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
And I get that.
He's for those of you that are listening, he's the guy who does CoffeeZilla. Mm-hmm. So Joe Rogan had that guy on.
It's super interesting, and like I'm this is a new thing, listening to Joe Rogan, which I had kind of just been like, I don't really want to, and I'm surprised. He is a good interviewer. He's good at bringing you back to the topic. However, his podcasts are like 6 hours long, 5 hours long. So I'm just like, I was listening at like 1.2 times the speed and just like, I can't make it in 2 hours. So I hear what you're saying. 2 things bother me about what you just said. I'm not going to get in an argument, but I do think that like knowing what's going on is more important than knowing about hockey. Like I do think that. I'm not trying to say one side versus the other, because like I'm pretty adamant that I'm not a Democrat. Like if I was going to pick a party, I'm a Democratic socialist. I guess if there is a party for that, it's like Bernie Sanders. But I don't want to really label myself either. I just think that's divisive. So that being said, like I'm not advocating for the Democratic Party or going against the Republican Party. I just wanted to have like an informed conversation with you about it, because I think it's important, Joe. And the other thing that I was going to say is I forgot to tell you that I'm sorry again.
It's okay. So that was it. So this is us just catching up and kind of cleaning it up. So I just wanted people to know that at the end of the day, after our last the fight episode, that there, like I said, when the thing went off and we said goodbye at the end of the night, there wasn't anything either way. Me and you were texting the next day. We were already talking about other things, stuff like that. So that's just what I wanted to tell people, bring them up to speed. And then also like with me, like, I wanted everybody to know that, yes, I accept it. Like you said that I was ignorant. Yeah. I don't read up on the stuff. I don't want to read up on the stuff. I want to read up on stuff that I'm interested in.
You want to get pictures of my penis from Agatha.
Yeah.
Get back to normal.
I think she sent me an email this week.
She sent me a couple. She's found a back doorway, and she tweeted me a bunch telling me to leave her alone.
And I don't know what she talked, because she sent an email.
Leave me alone. Here's 15 tweets. And I didn't even 75 emails.
Yeah, I didn't even open it. I just saw it was her name and I just deleted it. I didn't even read it. And I'm like, I can't even remember the last time we said anything about her. So
I said something on Twitter, I think is what started it. Somebody was like, how many 500 Frenzy UK fans are there out there? And they're like counting, like, we're up to 6. And I was like, 7 if you count my stalker, but technically she's Polish.
Yeah.
And got
But if you're going by
15.
accounts, it's probably 23 accounts because she probably runs that many bot accounts.
Yeah, and it was amazing because she's like, just stay away from me with like her 25th like fake Twitter account that she's spying on me. And then she just went like all these Twitter, like one after another, and like it's impossible for you to even have had a restraining order against me. Why are you making my life so miserable? And then I just copied the restraining order and put it up on Twitter for her.
Yeah, she sent me that email. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, I don't even think we've mentioned her name in 2 months on this show. I'm just like, we're over it. And I don't know. I feel like it's almost boring. Well, when you talk about stuff like that, it's funny. But like when we talk about it on the show, it's almost like it's been beat into the ground. It's just boring. But she can't. But then I think that's what she does. She's like, oh, they haven't talked about me. And so then she has to like.
She's like, just leave me alone.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Why have you done the thing I wanted the most?
It's like when you're a kid and you like poke your brother or your sister over and over and over and over, and then they poke you back and you're like, oh, why'd you do that? Mom. That's what she does. She like, oh my gosh. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But so that was the email from her. Like I said, I didn't even open it. I just deleted it. I just sent it to spam. I just sent it to the old spam account.
Missing out, dude.
I doubt it. I have something that happened this week, and it drives me nuts. So out by Heidi and I, there was this pop-up like couple that have this barbecue place, and they set up in the parking lot of like a liquor store.
Pop-up couple.
Yeah. Yeah. So like this couple, they just like bring their trailer in that's got like a smoker.
Yeah.
And set up like a tent. And then they just they sell ribs and brisket and all sorts of stuff. And you can just pull in and buy barbecue.
Uh-huh.
And so we had seen that they were out. And we were like, oh, cool. And they were sold out. And so Heidi started following them on Facebook. And they said that like, oh, we're going to be out there on Sunday, this past Sunday. They're like, we're going to be out there. And they had their menu and everything. So Heidi and I go and wait in line. And we're waiting about 10 minutes.
And the health department showed up.
Well, so worse. I wish the health department would have showed up. But what happened was we get up and the guy it's a husband and wife doing it. And the gentleman in front of us had ordered his food and she was putting his food together. Like she was putting his order together. And she goes, like, what would you like, sir? And I start to give my order and I stop because her attention is on the food that she's making. And it's dead silence for like a minute as she's making this food. And then she looks back at me, like realizing that I'm no longer talking. And she goes, I'm listening. And
like
so
a minute
I go,
later.
Yeah. So I go, okay. And I'm thinking in my head, like, this isn't going to go well. So I go, we'll take a small jalapeno mac and cheese with pulled pork. We'll take a full slab of ribs and burnt ends. So she immediately goes, we don't have, the burnt ends won't be ready for 45 minutes. So I said, okay, full slab and the mac and cheese. And she's like, all right. So she boxes his stuff up, gives it to him, like monkeys around with something behind the thing for a little bit. And then she comes back and she goes, what was it you wanted again?
Oh, Lord.
So I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, are
This
you
better
kidding
be
me?
some good food.
Yeah. So I go through the order again.
You just
Wait,
say,
she bags
we
it
got
up.
four racks of ribs 18
Yeah.
pounds of coleslaw, 45 cartons of macaroni and cheese, and I already paid
Marlboros.
you. Where's my change?
Yeah. You owe me $15.
Come on, lady.
And so she gets the food together and hands it to me, and we get home, open it up. It's mac and cheese, not the jalapeno mac and cheese. There's no pulled pork on it. And then what drives me nuts is they didn't have on their sign whether it was spare ribs or baby backs. And I love baby backs. I don't like all the tendons and everything that's in a spare rib.
Oh, spare rib is like, I get it now. The baby backs is the good part, and the spare is like, we might give these
Yeah.
to the dogs.
Pretty much.
Okay,
Pretty
got it.
much. And so, like, baby backs or the St. Louis spares, they're usually cheaper. So people who are doing like kind of this like little catering service, that you can get more ribs, obviously, because it's like a rack of baby backs are going to cost you like $15, and a rack of spare ribs are probably going to cost you $8.
Got it.
So you can get like double the meat, right? So we get home, no jalapeno mac and cheese, just mac and cheese, no pulled pork on top of it. Like everything was wrong. It drove me nuts. And the whole time we're driving home, before we knew that our order was messed up, it drives me nuts. It's one of those things that ruffles my feathers when a waitress or a waiter doesn't write something down.
yeah.
And when they come up to your table, hey, what would you like? It's one thing if it's like two people, all right? And even though it was two people the other day, they screwed it up. But if you're in a restaurant and it's someone who that is their job, like this couple, he's probably an engineer, she's probably a physicist, something like that, and they're doing this on the side. I get it. This isn't what you do normally. So write things down. But at a restaurant, if there's like two of you that go in, normally your stuff is, 99 out of 100 times your stuff is good. But if like you go in with a group and that 20-year-old sophomore at Central Michigan University is like, no, I got this. And then, 8 people give them their orders. It's never right. And I just want to be like, time out, man.
It's so easy just to write it down.
Yeah, I just want to be like, dude, can you please write this? I've had this conversation. I swear to you, I've had this conversation with people before. I go, hey, you might want to write this down. And they're like, no, I got it. And I'm like, please, can you write this down? No, I got it. I'm good. And then it's like, yeah, you order the brisket with the coleslaw and the mac and cheese, and you get brisket with potato salad and mac and cheese. Oh, it just absolutely burns me up.
It sucks when you are really looking forward to food and they mess it up.
Exactly. That's exactly what happened this weekend.
Yeah, you get it home and you're just like, yeah. Or you get it and they're like really busy. You can't complain,
Yep.
and you're just like, gosh,
Yeah.
do it right.
And like it's like one of those things, like each person listening, each one of our listeners probably has like a different way that they would deal with it. But it's like, me and Heidi were talking, like, do you go on the Facebook page and like, you don't want to call them out in front of everybody. So then like, do you slide them a message and just be like, hey, just a heads up, like you might want to write this stuff down. Like our order got screwed up. We opted just not to do anything because maybe if it was like a strike one, we would have said something.
Yeah.
But the fact that like, I don't know, just kind of everything was messed up, and it wasn't like the best. We had been so looking forward to it. We went to the ATM, took $60 out because
Golly, man.
Yeah, we knew that it was going to be, because barbecue's expensive food, and
Yeah.
so and then it ended up, it just did not hit the mark, like not even close. And it just it burned me. I had to vent about that.
I'm so sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. That's all right.
Why? I'm done. That was all.
Why have you forsaken me? Hey, I do have something to share with you and our listeners. Just like when you find a band that is like really cool, and you get to say that you are with them on like the ground level and watch them get bigger.
I don't do that anymore. Bands find me.
That's right. That is right.
The group, the Wombats, they called me. I don't know where they got their number, but they were like, you should check out our song, Your Body is a Weapon. It's got 20 million downloads. And I was like, maybe.
Yeah.
Go on, Joe.
No,
Let's
I
hear
like it. I like how you big time them. Speaking of that, you want to know what's weird? About 3 months ago, I get a phone call on my cell phone, and
It was
it's
the
from
Holy Spirit.
it's an unknown number. It goes to
Holy
voicemail, and then
I've gotten
I
this
listen.
call, and it's like, stop masturbating. And I'm like, geez, it is the Holy Spirit.
Well, this one was a little different.
Okay.
This one, I listened to the voicemail, and it goes, I just wanted to see if this was Joe Yerke's phone. I love the show. And then it hung up. The person hung up.
Did they sound Polish?
They did not. It was
Okay.
a dude, sounded like a nice guy. He didn't sound like a serial killer or anything like that.
Okay.
But the other thing is, he sounded like a dude, like not a teenager. You know, like if you were a teenager and you got like Kurt Cobain's number, you might call him and do the same thing. This guy sounded like he was 35, 40 years old. And he was like, I just want to see if this was the number. I love the show. Keep doing good. And then he hung up. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was waiting for him to be like, I like that shirt you're wearing. And I would have been like, what?
Come on over.
Yeah, I'm outside the window. Yeah, but that's neither here nor there. What I was going to tell you was like when you hear about these new bands coming up, there's a podcast out that I'm biased, but I'm not biased. I'm biased because it's two of my friends' kids, and when I say kids, they're 26, 27-year-old women. They started a podcast called Independent and Irrelevant. And they're my friend's kids. I guess I would call them my friend. I don't think they would call me their friend. I think they would just call me some ugly, old man that goes to church with them. But I would call them friends. I think they're great kids. They have been amazing, almost mentors, like big sisters to my girls, especially like after going through divorce and all that stuff. They're like, my oldest is 18. I have a 16-year-old and 18-year-old, and they're like 26, 28 years old. So when my girls were younger, they were like kind of those older teens that saw that, Ella and Mia were kind of going through a time and kind of were there for them.
Yeah.
So they're these great, I'll no longer say kids. They're these great women that are doing this. Well, they decided to start a podcast called Independent and Irrelevant.
Yes.
And I heard about it and I was like, oh, cool. So I listened to the first episode, and the first episode was kind of hard to listen to because it's just a first episode. Everybody's first episode is hard to listen to. And theirs was hard as well because it's like they didn't have equipment. They were basically...
Did you talk about these guys already? And you're like, the equipment. What do we tell them? What do we tell young podcasters starting out?
Yeah, I think I may have touched on it about the equipment, but I've actually listened now to the podcasts, and I'll tell you what, man, it is good. Their sound is wonky, and I'm trying to get them. Their names are Haley and Hannah. So Haley and Hannah, I'm trying to get them to just invest a little bit into sound, because their sound quality, like one of them will sound great on one episode and one of them will sound horrible. Like they're on a video conference feed from Saudi Arabia or something.
Yeah.
And then on the next one, it's vice versa. It's very rarely does the sound great with both of them. So I'm trying to get them to be as passionate about this as I am, which that's probably, my sixth mistake right there. And so I'm trying to get them to get some equipment to have it sound great. However, I feel like when I listen to their podcast, I feel like their podcast it is fantastic. And if they did the thing where like they get better sound, they got like a little intro music thing They got a little outro. I think they could get a lot of followers, lot of followers. And it's these two 20-something-year-old women. Their vocabulary is freaking hilarious. They do all that millennial speak where they turn everything into an abbreviation. The stuff that they talk about is just, they call themselves independent and irrelevant, and they're actually relevant on the stuff that they're talking about. It's a good show. And so and here's the thing, we're a bunch of two stinky dudes kind of talking through stuff.
Yeah.
They're two women. So fellas,
So less stinky.
yeah. So fellas, if you listen to our podcast, give them a try. Independent and irrelevant. If your wife's in the car, if your daughters are in the car, it's not explicit. It's a clean podcast.
Less swearing than this podcast.
Lots,
is what I'm saying.
100% less. And it's fantastic. And then women, if you're listening to this podcast, give theirs a listen. They're freaking hilarious. The stuff they talk about, they're creative. Just some of the stuff, I'm like, I want to steal that bit. I want to steal that bit. Like, they have a lot of stuff. They do good content. And so I haven't been listening to them. And they just recently did their 10th episode. And Haley saw or read something that said only 1% of all podcasts make it to 10 episodes. 1% of all podcasts make it to 10 episodes. And so their goal was to make it to 10. And so they recently just did their 10th. And that's the one I listened to. And then it was so good, it made me go back, and then I just listened to all the others. Like I said, it's like listening to a local band. Like, they don't have the sound dialed in yet. They don't have like a fun intro or whatnot there. But as far as the meat of their podcast, it is fantastic. And so it's just these two 20-somethings. They're great. Haley recently moved from Detroit to Charleston, South Carolina. So now she's a 28-year-old girl she's a, what's it called? A travel nurse.
Uh-huh.
So she just moved to Charleston, South Carolina, where she's going to be for a year. So in this 10th episode, it's the first one that she's done with her there. So Hannah is here in Michigan. Haley is down in South Carolina. And just listening to this young girl talk about how I'm sorry, ladies, if you're listening, not this lady, talk about how she's trying to meet friends, how she's trying to explore the area around. It's interesting. It's funny. It's good. So you guys, our listeners, I know you guys are all loyal, and you guys if we say to eat somewhere, you guys will try it. If we say to listen to something, you'll try it.
We tell you to pour hot water down your pants, you do it.
You do it. If I tell you to pour some sugar on me, you'll do it. So give these ladies a listen, and bump up their listens,
Okay.
and their stats and stuff like that. So give them a try. Independent and irrelevant. Go to Haley and Hannah, and maybe one day they'll call me their friend.
Okay, good going.
Yeah.
What
What's
else?
been going on with you?
Well, basically, my band defeated some Satanism.
What'd you guys do?
Well, we won the Twitter thing, the tweeting of the CCM artists.
Oh, you guys won?
Became Lord of the Dance.
Yeah, national champions,
Over
international champions.
Switchfoot went on there right before the end, and they just said, "Hey, Five Iron taught us how to be rock stars. We hope they win." And then we won.
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel very humbled.
Yes.
Because I think Switchfoot was probably the best band on there. So, yeah, but this is the best part. The next day, the Creation Festival, which many of you have gone to near Lancaster, Pennsylvania, we played it. You and I have talked about it. You talked about your beef with Kevin Max that began there.
Yeah.
They announced that they're no longer going to do it.
Oh, I thought they stopped a long time ago.
I know. So did I. And what made me think it is that, like, in 2018, the founder got 18 years in prison
Oh.
for sexually assaulting kids.
Really?
Yes.
That'll do it. That'll
So-
get you some time.
I know that this festival, they were just making millions. And I know that they mistreated the bands, the small bands. I know that they kind of just pushed this this image of like the whole CCM market where there's this hierarchy and it was just glamorous and glitzy and people trying to be like, these guys are famous, but also we care about Jesus. We're just ignoring the part of the gospel where it tells us not to do this. Who wants to hear for Smitty? And then, that just kept going. And I felt really like, I'm not bragging that we won this meaningless Twitter poll, but I
It's not meaningless.
did feel good about it because I was like until the final four, I felt like all the bands that we were against except for Line K were just manufactured. That like you go and you look at somebody posted a tweet of it today. Like they're just like, because this dude started another poll. So now it's like albums versus albums.
Yeah, and we made it.
You made it.
Except it was Scallyluia. I mean, I like the first Scallyluia.
He probably he picked for us our newest album ever, which has sold the most copies because it's called our newest album ever.
That's my favorite album of yours.
Well, people would just be like, well, what's their new album? And then they'd be like, it must be this one.
It must be a million plot points.
So it's how we've sold that the most. And so that is on there. But like, we're up against Jesus Freak by Decent Christian Talk.
I don't have Twitter. Pull that up. So let's go through that. Tell me all the
Oh my
rounds.
gosh. Let's talk about this first though. Like somebody posted like the listing of the extra musicians and it's like Michael Tate sing, Kevin Max singing, Toby Max singing. Those are their credits. And then it was just like freaking like 25 extra people, like 14 guitar players, 8 drummers, bass player.
Seriously?
All the people that wrote it, like all the people that programmed all this stuff, which I'm not against, but like, I mean, it's manufactured. Like that is manufactured. Like I don't want to yuck anybody's yum. Like if you like DC Talk and they're meaningful to you and those songs are meaningful to you, cool. Because I like bands that are manufactured. I like that. But what I love about like that CCM poll was it got down to just bands that are real. Like Rich Mullins was real. Like he wrote his own stuff. His band, like they were good guys. They were all his friends. Rich Mullins like decided not to get he didn't accept all the money that he made in royalties. He took a salary. He had a board of passers that oversaw him, and then he lived with the Navajo. Like he was legit. He was cool.
Wowzers. I didn't know any of that.
Yeah, the Kid Brothers of St. Frank. You should look up his group. It was sweet.
I thought it
But,
was called the Ragamuffin Band.
Well, that's his band, but his charitable organization was the Kid Brothers of St. Frank, where he gave away all his money except for $2,000 a month, which is pretty dope because, like as a musician, you and I know that half that went to taxes
Yeah.
when you were doing that, or 40%. We paid most of that in taxes. But yeah, man, that like MXPX, those guys are legit. They write all their own stuff. They're cool. They're cool. They're fans. Switchfoot, amazing. Like they're such good dudes. Do you know about the Bro-Am that Switchfoot does?
No.
Dude, for like 20 years, they've had this charitable festival in San Diego where they'll play and local San Diego bands will play and they'll get other people to play. And then they have like a surf competition for charity and it's called the Bro-Am. And like it's just this cool like outdoor surfing festival / party that people give to, I think it's like, I could just be pulling this out of my butt, but it's like to the Boys and Girls Club or it's to like Big Brother, Big Sister.
Okay.
And it's called the Bro-Am. Switchfoot is legit. Like their music is good. They deserve all the fame that has come to them. And so I just felt like really honored just to be at that point. I was like, I would so gladly lose to any of these bands. And then we won. And then we won against like all these manufactured CCM people. And then, I mean, not that everybody that we beat to get there was manufactured, because there's a lot of bands that were legit that I feel are legit.
Yeah.
Michael W. Smith, I feel, is legit. Like he's a really good songwriter. He has written most of the songs, like songs for people on there.
Yeah, for sure.
know? But like a lot of the bands we beat were not, and I feel like it's part of this kind of manufactured thing, this fakeness that I felt when we played at Creation. And like I said, we played the first year that we played, they put us on main stage and we hated it because we were like, this is not us. So we always asked to play on the side stage. And then they treated us like shit. Like,
Yeah.
you guys can't cross this rope because this is for real artists. Like, okay.
Yeah.
But-
when we
okay,
got the boot, we
back
went
up
back
for
to
a
that
second.
side stage and it was second-class citizens.
Yeah, but like that makes absolutely no sense if like what any of those people are doing or what that festival was about was Christ. No sense whatsoever. Like to create this hierarchy and to treat bands like they were special or royalty instead of just being like, I got Cornerstone. You could stumble in on the stage with any band. Like anybody could come up. It was just
Yeah.
cool. You're just broing down. Well,
Yeah.
so they called it quits. I don't know. I mean, like the guy that founded it. This is from Associated Press article I just pulled up. It says former pastor who co-founded a Christian music festival before admitting he had sexual contact with children and being branded a wolf has been sentenced to 18 years in prison. Harry Thomas, who's 75 years old, and this was 5 years ago. He pled guilty to assaulting a 9-year-old in 2005, having sexual contact with 3 girls ages 7 to 9 in 2000 and 2010, and exposing himself to a girl between 2008 and 2010. Pled guilty to it. So that guy's a millionaire, and now he's in jail. And I just feel like I feel good about this. I feel good
Yeah.
about this today.
I mean, I feel good that anybody who does that to children gets caught and gets sentenced and all of that.
Yeah.
Now, to just speak to the other side, I think because you and I have peeked behind the curtain of these festivals and we know the garbage and we know all of that stuff. We kind of know the music industry. I think it makes us cynical to to these festivals and this manufacturing and like prostituting like Jesus.
Yeah.
However, there's a side of me that thinks like my girls aren't into the music scene like you and I. And so if they get if they had something pop up on their phone that said like, hey, there's going to be a live festival and the digital age and for King and Country and all these bands are going to be there, I don't think like my girls would give it a second thought like, oh my gosh, they're just going for a money grab. I think my girls in their life I think they would look at it like, I'm a Christian. This is going to be a cool Christian festival. There's going to be other people there that maybe I can get to know and in the meantime see these bands. And so I think there's those people out there that like they love that. And they love that like that's where they can go and get all their music in one weekend. And let it almost like Applebee's, right? So Applebee's is where you can go and kind of get whatever you want. There's something for everyone at Applebee's, but it's this manufactured kind of food that's heated up in the kitchen. And if
Sometimes
people
it's
don't,
nice just to go though, and
Yeah.
you're
But,
not
like, if you're-
this is the best Mexican food I've ever had.
yeah, but if you're a teenager or you're in your 20s and you don't know any better and you're like, oh, let's go to Applebee's on Friday. And then you get older to understand what good food is, and the mom and pop diner down the street that takes a little bit more care, that roasts their turkeys every morning, and they know how much meat they're going through in a day. That's where I would rather go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then there's also like your 60, 70-year-olds that want to go to Applebee's because they just don't know any better. And so I think those big festivals where me and you, we just get like a bad taste in our mouth.
Yeah.
It serves its purpose. And I do believe there's people that were strengthened in their faith, that came to know the Lord, that got stronger in their faith, that got turned on to horrible bands like us and Five Iron. And because of that. So I do want to defend, big festivals like that. I want to defend them. At the same time, when you've seen our side of it and you see the sausage being made, behind the curtain, it's like, I don't want to be a part of this.
Yes. It is like, I don't want to say people had false motives, because I do believe that a lot of people that worked at those festivals and put them on had great motives. Like, their motives were to help people and get people to see like the love of Christ.
Yeah.
However, like, there were people that were shady about it, or people that were the prosperity gospel-y about it, which is, I mean, it's kind of a good motive. They just think that God wants them to be rich.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's like Paul says, whether for false motives or for good, what counts is that Jesus is preached. And so
it's funny
thankful
that
for
you
that.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that, because that's how I feel too about like Joel Osteen. Like, so many people, like, there's a ton of crap to go off on Joel Osteen about. I'm not defending the guy. However, I guess I am, in the sense that if Joel Osteen, if this mega church being on television or whatever is what gets one person who didn't know Christ to start looking into it and to start digging deeper, and then maybe that person says, you know what? When I read the Bible, like, I feel this, I feel that. Like, I don't need that. I don't believe that I need a couch right now. I think I need more than a couch. I need my thirst to be quenched. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if Joel Osteen brought that person because he's the McDonald's of Christianity, what would you call it? Televangelism. He's that McDonald's end of it, and that gets someone to eat their first burger, and then it sends them on a journey to find the greatest burger out there. I get that.
Yeah.
Again, I don't like it, and I think once you find Christ and you find who that true relationship is, I think the prosperity gospel turns you off. But if you don't know any better, that can bring you in, and hopefully it will make you seek more. Unfortunately, I think it just strings people along for a while, and then they're like, oh, I've been donating my money and that guy's been getting rich, and I've been praying about this and this for 2 years and I haven't got it. I'm moving on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm with you, man. I feel like it's, I'm like, I dabble in Calvinism. So I feel like if, like, that God is sovereign over that stuff, and he'll bring whoever to him, however he wants to, he doesn't need us. He doesn't need Creation Festival. Doesn't need, the bands playing there. And now it's just like, what is it? There's no festivals anymore. There's no Bible bookstores. Everybody can download anything. You can listen to any band you want streaming for free, or you can pay a $10 subscription. Books, you don't have to go to a bookstore. It's just a different world where
It is.
It seems like, I don't know, the corporations that were making money so much off the church, it's just gone out to the world. So it can't be about money so much anymore. You know, the record companies are gone. There's still like Capital Christian Music Group, which controls, you know, like Tooth and Nail and Forefront and whatever the big Christian labels are. They still own like the back catalog. We bought Five Iron stuff back from them or from Frank, but they still control like The End Is Here. So like our second live album, they control first Brave Saint album and Roper. So
Oh, really?
yeah, which they're not even. I don't think they've even put up to streaming stuff. I think like they're in breach of contract in that, and they haven't sent me any stuff. But I have to hire a lawyer, and I'm just like, I don't know. I don't want to spend the money on it. I don't want to deal with it right now.
Yeah.
Someday
Yeah,
I'll
because
do it.
your Roper album, like I love Amplify, and so I put that album into my, like I put the CD itself into my iTunes library because Roper, that album wouldn't come up.
Yeah.
And then for whatever reason, I have no clue how this happened, Amplify on the album doesn't play. So when I pull up that Roper album in my own iTunes, like in my like my purchases,
Yeah.
it has the entire album, and then that song has like red over it,
Weird.
and Amplify won't play.
I wonder if they thought it was like some other band. You
Yeah, I don't
and they were
know.
like, it was like the same length and title. And
They were like, this song is so good, I bet Ed Sheeran wrote it. So Five Iron Frenzy, we're gonna take
He's
it off their
getting
album.
all the tens of dollars that I would be getting.
Yeah. Oh,
I ta-
your album played 10,000 times this month. Here's $1.
I know. That is how Spotify works, guys. You get
It's
like
amazing.
A tenth of a cent.
It's like 0.001 cent for every play your song plays.
Yeah.
And so like I think the last time I got like royalties, I got like $23, something like that. It's like, are you kidding me?
Cheapers.
I know. It's brutal. Brutal.
Brutal.
Hey, we're about the end here of this paid portion.
What?
Yeah. We're at
This is
56
paid?
minutes. Or no, this is the freebie.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
the
We talk
freebie.
about way cooler stuff on the paid.
Yeah. On the paid,
how
we're
to
going to be
make-
talking about
How
our
to make
tattoos.
your first million
Yeah,
off
and
of
Prince Albert's.
Joel Osteen.
Yeah.
He mails you a check. We talk about that.
I want to be. Here's something.
Did you say Prince Albert's?
Yeah. Here's something. How come there's not televangelists of other religions? How do we become like the shady satanic televangelist? Like I want to be like that guy who's selling the snake oil and making millions. And then just duping all the satanic followers.
You put your hand up the screen. Put your hand up the screen.
Yeah.
You're doing this in faith. You're gonna send me $10. You're gonna send me $10, and I promise you're going straight to hell. Straight to hell. That's
Yeah.
what you're doing. All right.
Yes.
Satan, I hear him. What? He said all his legions are cheering. I hear it. $10. 15. 15 if you want to have a really nasty seat. A really nasty seat. You want somebody poking you in the butt for eternity with a sharp stick. You want that? 25. 25. Who
Do you
has it?
want a license plate cover that says Blizelzblub? Just send $50. If you send $50 right now, you get the
But you gotta believe.
you get the Satanic Bible covered in the Necronomicon from Army of Darkness.
It's covered in fake human flesh, which we have. My wife has cursed herself.
Like we need to do that. We need to start being fake satanic televangelists.
I think the thing with that though is there's no real Satanists. Like there, I'm sure are a few people, but mostly the Satanic Church is just people who are like Look, man, we're just trying to point out this fallacy that like Christians need to get out of government.
Or
odd.
or satanic
schools.
satanic televangelists are like Slayer.
Slayer. There you go. King Diamond.
Yeah. Oh man, I think I found a retirement gig when this roofing's done. I'm gonna be
Satanic televangelist.
I'm gonna be blowing my nose with like $100 bills. It'll be like Dumb and Dumber. I'm gonna be living large, and people will be like, I don't know why he has all those millions. I mean, he takes care of the church. He takes care of the satanic church. And I'm just like laughing after every sermon. After every sermon.
Maniacally, you're laughing.
In my Venmo is larger than any app, than any number that's ever been digitally put out there, and I'm just laughing maniacally.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that's how we're gonna do it. Okay. And then you know how it's always like the televangelist falls from grace? It'll be the opposite. Like all of a sudden one day it'll come out in the news that like someone saw me coming out of church.
Someone saw you helping an old lady.
Yeah. And they'll be like, see, he's not real. It's not real. He's faking. He's been faking the whole time.
That lady could have broken her hip. He should have left her in the street.
Like Jim Baker was found naked underneath like a desk. I'll be found like fully clothed, like reading out of Galatians. And they'll be like, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. He duped us. Oh, that would be a good one.
It's a good one, sir.
All right. Freebies, we're bringing this to an end. Reese, I think me and you tomorrow are doing another hour for the paid people. And we got a lot of stuff to talk about, man.
Oh, yeah.
Try to think of five small memories again.
5 small memories.
Just yeah. Yep.
I will.
All right. That's it, you guys. We're out of here. It's almost 10 o'clock.
Pizza.
Bye.
Was that good?
That's good.